Skin Cancer Awareness Month, there are things you can do to protect your skin before these active summer months. Chief Dermatology Resident Dustin Mullins with Affiliated Dermatology is here with ways we can avoid skin problems this summer. Good to see you again. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
So what are some of the common skin problems that people are going to see this summer?
So this summer, one of the most common is obviously going to be sunburn. So sunburn is something that we can avoid if we use appropriate sun protective behaviors. So staying out of the peak hours between 10 and 2, wearing sunscreen, SPF 30 that's broad spectrum, applied every 2 to 3 hours, and every time after we go into the ocean, every time we dry off with our towel, anytime we do that, we're going to want to reapply. That's going to reduce the likelihood that they're going to get a sunburn. So that's probably the most common skin complaint that we have, and one of the big issues is once we get that sunburn, how do we take care of it?
Yes.
So that's a common question, and with kids and adults. And typically one of the best things you can do is you can use an over-the-counter anti-inflammatory, an NSAID. So like ibuprofen, Motrin, Aleve, these can reduce or lessen the severity of the inflammation that we get with that sunburn, and they can improve our overall kind of tolerance of having that burn.
One of the things we were talking about too, because let's face it, kids are going to be outside doing lemonade stands. Maybe you're having some, cocktails by the pool or by the ocean, and you might get, like what I've gotten before, a margarita rash.
Margarita rash.
What is it, and how does this happen?
So margarita rash is a real thing. And
it is.
So kids with lemonade stands, working with lemons, working with lime juice.
Any citrus.
Yeah, any citrus, in the citrus family, as well as gardeners working with celery.
And right there we're looking at, so what causes that and what can we do?
So it's actually a chemical called a furocoumarin, and that's a chemical that's in the lime juice, it's in the lemon juice, and when you come into contact with it, it's absorbed by the skin. So a few drips from that lemon juice that reaches our skin, once you go outside and the ultraviolet light hits it, causes that skin eruption. It's called a phototoxic skin eruption. You end up getting this bright red rash. It could sting, it could burn a little bit, and sometimes we're going to be worried if that's on our hands and we don't quite remember or recall what we were doing, and this shows up.
Yes,
yeah,
it can be scary.
Very scary. So one of the things we want to prevent is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation with that. That's where you get this dark pigment after this thing kind of fades away. It still sits around a little bit. So what we want to do is give them a topical steroid, as well as sometimes an oral steroid if it's severe enough.
Okay, so, and that's really important, but let's also talk about sunburn. What are some ways that we can really prevent getting sunburn?
So again, using the sun protective behavior, so avoiding the peak hours between 10 and 2, wearing sun protective clothing, a good SPF 30 that's broad spectrum. If somebody does get a sunburn, like I said, an NSAID, an anti-inflammatory, you can take that every 6 hours as directed by the bottle. That's appropriate. You can use vitamin D's, been reported to reduce the flare or the inflammation with the sunburn. So you could take an over-the-counter 500 IUs of vitamin D. You could take that every 6 to 8 hours as well. Those are two options that you could do. Sometimes we can also recommend that they can use some aloe vera. Sometimes that feels better, so that just makes it feel better.
Adds a little relief.
And sometimes that's important too, just giving them symptomatic relief from what they're experiencing. Tylenol is also an option as well as topical or oral steroids, depending on the severity of it.
Let's talk about, though, unfortunately, you've seen these people walk around at the beach or around the pool, sun poisoning.
Yeah.
How do we handle that, and when do we know? I mean, this picture...
Yeah, sun poisoning. Sun poisoning is a significant risk, and if you are experiencing any symptoms of lightheadedness, if you're feeling like you're having any blistering sunburns, you need to seek out medical help. You need to see your dermatologist or your primary care physician. You need to be evaluated. Sometimes you could have second-degree burns. Those are associated with increased risk of infection, scarring. You want to make sure that you're getting seen and you're being taken care of appropriately, because that is a true risk.
And so basically, to really avoid summer skin problems, wear that SPF.
Absolutely.
Stay out of the sun between those peak hours and really be sun safe and sun smart.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to preach it, especially to your children. You really want to teach them the good behaviors, and it becomes ingrained in their just natural daily habits. But it's very important, especially in the summertime when that sun's out all day.
And especially all year round here in Arizona. You have
True.
a special offer for our viewers. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so we actually have a special offer at Affiliated Dermatology at our dispensary. We offer a 15% discount on all our sunscreens if they just call at 602-775-5024. They can call and get that great deal.
All right, Doctor, a lot of great and useful information. We appreciate you coming in and sharing it with us. And if you want to learn more about Affiliated Dermatology, you can log on to their website, affderm.com/yourlifearizona, or call the number on your screen.